As I enter quarter three of 2026, it's a lot of things that I want to prepare for and be ahead of. It's a few things that, this world and, energy is changing, relationships changing. What's up is down, what's down is up. And you got to be aware of that. You got to be mindful that we are in this transitional stage um, where you have to, pick a side. You have to set boundaries. You have to know where you're going more than knowing where you're at. And I think that's going to be the big theme, this next year or the ending of this year, the cycle is knowing where you're going versus just knowing where you're at. And I say that because when we know where we at, we tend to get comfortable. We tend to get stagnant and just be where we're at, right? Like, and let that take us to wherever we're going. But if we start to figure out if we start to figure out where we are going, um, that'll open up the doors to different things, different days, different experiences. So, if you are going based on where you're at, you may not know where you're going, right? But if you know where you're going, that again can open up opportunities to, how you are going to get there, how fast, the timeline, all of these things that you'll be thinking about and discussing to yourself, to your team, to your support, to know where you're going, right? So the focus I'm focused on is team. Building a team, building that system of people who I can rely on, who I can trust, who I can build with, not just have fun with and make memories, but build, actually contribute to society, actually contribute to a mission, a goal, a vision. Um, and I need to meet people that understand that's where they want to go or already going. I want to have conversations that are around, what have you done? What have you been building? Um, the type of things that make somebody prone to advancing and not, you know, lacking or buckling. In a time where people are sensitive or people are unsure, people are more prone to not do something and to not build than they are to build. I mean, you got to vet these people. You got to vet people in today's time. You got to ask them questions. You got to, really make sure that they are who they are versus believing what they're saying, believing old lies from new mouths, um, and running with that, right? Allowing that on your team, allowing that in your ecosystem. We, we had a time where we can't really afford that type of activity. We can't afford uncertainty. And this is now speaking to the builders, to the growers, to those who, you know, um, want the same stuff that I'm speaking on this video. There has to be some sense of urgency and alignment with, who is in your life and the reasons why they are in your life. So if you aren't asking people questions like, where are they going? Where are they coming from? Um, you aren't really getting the truth of the matter. And if you aren't meeting people who's expressing that, who's building in public, who's being transparent with their wins, their losses, if you aren't doing that, you are not fully getting the people uh, that you want. You are not fully diving into that space. Um, and that's what I just want to share with, the people that's kind of at that spot with, you know, life right now. Don't give up. Don't feel like, you can't continue or get that life you want because it's there, right? If you hearing this video, somebody's out there is listening to this, which means, that's two people now. And then the third person, if you share it, that's three people. Um, and it's just this frequency we gotta tap into, you know. So I'm speaking to those that, like I said, want to build, want to collaborate, want to just, connect with other people who are seeing the world for where it's going, not for where, they are at, right? And getting comfortable with it. So this is my frequency message um, to the world, to the ether, calling out builders, collaborators, creators, uh, just being in a space that, we can develop and build and create. So my name is Nas again. I'm the founder of InnerG Intel. If you have not checked out, the book is now out, The Final Frequency, or Legacy and Ink, The Final Frequency. Um, and yeah, go check it out. Go support. If you want a new read, if you want, something to read, this fall, if you read all your books, check out, this book. It's a poetic book. It's not your typical, first chapter, second chapter, third chapter book. It's a book that I put together based on, experiences from my life, outlooks that I have, and ideologies I wish to see be instilled, like I said, in the future that I live in. So go check that out. I'll place all that in the description. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, um, and just support, man. I'm looking for those people. So if you are one of those people, tap in, reach out, let me know what's up, and I can have a place for you to connect and connect with other people and like-minded individuals. So peace and carpe diem.